Here is a mistake that costs people more than any market crash. They apply the wrong financial strategy at the wrong time. A 25-year-old worrying about retirement tax loopholes instead of building income. A 45-year-old keeping everything in cash during their peak compounding years. A 60-year-old betting their nest egg on risky stocks right before retirement. The problem is not lack of effort. It is phase confusion. Wealth building is not one long, uniform journey. It happens in 3 distinct phases. And each phase has a completely different goal, a different set of risks, and different daily actions. Today, we are going to map out all 3 phases. So you know exactly what to do right now, and exactly what to ignore. Most personal finance advice pretends you are the same person at 25 and 55. You are not. At 25, your biggest asset is your future earning power. At 45, your biggest asset is the compounding machine you have built over 20 years. At 65, your biggest asset is the preservation of everything you have accumulated. The same strategy that builds wealth in your 30s can destroy it in your 60s. Good advice applied in the wrong phase becomes bad advice. The key is not finding the perfect universal strategy. The key is knowing which phase you are in, and what that phase demands. Here are the 3 phases, laid out clearly. Phase 1, Accumulation. This is your 20s and 30s, sometimes longer if you start later. Your goal is simple. Build the foundation. Increase your income. Control your spending. Establish the investing habit. Phase 2, Growth. This is your 40s and 50s. Your goal shifts. Now you compound aggressively. You maximize tax-advantaged accounts. You let the money you invested in Phase 1 do the heavy lifting. Phase 3, Preservation. This is your 60s and beyond. Your goal shifts again. Protect what you have built. Shift toward safer assets. Plan how your money will support you, and outlast you. Let us walk through each phase in detail. And let us make sure you are doing the right things at the right time. Phase 1. Accumulation. Phase 1 is not about getting rich. It is about getting ready to become rich. The goal of your 20s and 30s is to build a foundation so solid that the later phases can do their work without interruption. There are 4 pillars to the accumulation phase. Pillar 1. Increase your earning power. This is the phase where investing in skills, what we covered in a previous video, delivers its highest return. Every dollar you add to your income now will compound across your entire career. Pillar 2. Control your spending. Not extreme frugality. Just awareness. Know where your money goes. Eliminate the leaks. Pillar 3. Build a real emergency fund. Not $1,000. 3 to 6 months of expenses. This buffer is what prevents life from blowing up your plan. Pillar 4. Start the investing habit. The amount does not matter yet. $10 a month. $50. What matters is that the system exists and the money is moving. Phase 1 is not glamorous. But a well-built Phase 1 makes Phases 2 and 3 almost inevitable. Here are the 3 most common mistakes people make in Phase 1. Mistake number 1. Trying to get rich through stock picking when you have very little capital. If you have $1,000 invested, even a 50% return, which is wildly unrealistic, is only $500. You cannot invest your way to wealth on a small base. The biggest lever in Phase 1 is income. Focus there. Mistake number 2. Avoiding all debt, including good debt. Bad debt, credit cards. Here is your Phase 1 checklist. Do you have an emergency fund covering 3 to 6 months of expenses? Have you eliminated all high-interest debt? Is your income growing year over year, through raises, skills, or side work? Have you automated your investing, even if it is just $20 a month? Are you actively upgrading your skills? If you can check all 5 boxes, you have completed phase 1. You have built the foundation. And you have earned the right to move into phase 2, where the real compounding begins. Phase 2. Growth. Phase 2 is where everything changes. In phase 1, you were the engine. Your labor, your skills, your hustle. The money you invested was small, and the returns were small. In phase 2, the balance shifts. Your portfolio has grown large enough that the annual returns start to rival your contributions. One year the market goes up 15%, and your $100,000 portfolio grows by $15,000, while you contributed $12,000. For the first time, your money earned more than you saved. This is the inflection point. This is the moment when the compounding machine begins to outpace your own effort. And it changes your psychology. You stop feeling like someone who saves money. You start feeling like someone who owns assets. And that shift is the gateway to phase 3. Here is what phase 2 strategy looks like. First, maximize your tax-advantaged accounts. In the United States, that means your 401k, your IRA, your health savings account. These accounts allow your money to grow tax-free or tax-deferred. Over 20 or 30 years, the tax savings alone can add hundreds of thousands of dollars to your net worth. Second, increase your investment rate with every raise. If you get a 3% raise, increase your automatic contributions by 1 or 2%. You still feel the raise. But your investment rate climbs from 10% to 12% to 15% to 20%, without ever feeling like a sacrifice. Third, consider adding additional asset classes. If you have only owned stocks, this may be the phase where you add a rental property. Or start a small business. Or invest in private deals. Not because you need to. Because your foundation is solid enough to support additional diversification. Phase 2 is not about getting fancy. It is about getting aggressive in the right ways. The biggest mistake in phase 2 is not a market crash. It is lifestyle creep. You are earning more than you ever have. Your peers are buying bigger houses, nicer cars, fancier vacations. The pressure to spend is immense. And every dollar you spend on lifestyle in phase 2 is a dollar that cannot compound through phases 2 and 3. A 45-year-old who increases their spending by $10,000 a year is not just spending $10,000. They are spending the $200,000 that $10,000 would have become by retirement. Phase 2 is where fortunes are either made or leaked away. The goal is not to live like a monk. It is to let your wealth grow faster than your lifestyle. If your income grows by 5% and your lifestyle grows by 2%, the gap, that 3%, becomes your wealth-building engine. Protect the gap. Phase 3. Preservation. Phase 3 is a complete mental shift. For 40 years, your goal was growth. Maximize returns. Compound aggressively. Now your goal is preservation. The question is no longer how fast can I grow my money. The question is, will my money outlast me? This shift is psychologically difficult. After a lifetime of accumulating, you now have to distribute. After a lifetime of taking calculated risks, you now have to reduce risk. After a lifetime of adding to your portfolio, you now have to withdraw from it. This is not a failure of strategy. It is the natural conclusion of a successful financial life. And it requires its own set of skills. Skills that are completely different from the skills you developed in phases 1 and 2. Here are the 4 strategies that define phase 3. First, shift toward safer assets. You do not need to sell everything and go to cash. But you do need to reduce your exposure to stock market volatility. A common rule is to subtract your age from 100 or 110, the result is the percentage you keep in stocks. The rest goes to bonds and cash. Second, the biggest mistakes in phase 3 are not about picking the wrong investments. They are about making irreversible decisions based on fear. Panic selling during a downturn. Withdrawing too much too early. Ignoring inflation. Avoiding the estate conversation until it is too late. Phase 3 is the reward for 40 years of discipline. Do not let fear in the final stretch undo what patience built. You have already won. Your job now is simply not to lose. Let us review the 3 phases. Phase 1, Accumulation. Build the foundation. Increase your income. Control your spending. Establish your emergency fund and your investing habit. Phase 2, Growth. Compound aggressively. Maximize tax-advantaged accounts. Increase your investment rate. Let your money do more work than you do. Phase 3, Preservation. Protect what you built. Shift toward safer assets. Plan your withdrawals carefully. Ensure your money outlasts you. 3 phases. 3 different goals. 3 different strategies. And here is the most important thing. You cannot skip phases. But you can complete them faster than you think, if you know what you are doing. The only question that matters right now is simple. Which phase are you in? Not which phase you wish you were in. Which phase are you actually in today? Identify it. Then do the work of that phase, and only that phase. Because the right action at the wrong time is still the wrong action. You now have the map. The rest is execution. This is the wealth site. If this framework gave you clarity, subscribe and turn on notifications. We release new insights regularly. Thank you for watching.